Hi guys, welcome to my YouTube channel. Psych, I'm sorry, that could never be me. So I'm just gonna personalize my own greeting. Hello. Okay, so today I'm actually wearing my spectacles because what we're about to discuss is how jealousy and just basically bringing each other down tends to be very, very prominent within the Black community. And my mother and I were actually discussing this afternoon, and we shared some deep, dark secrets and some deep rooted issues that we both had that I wasn't even aware that my mom had, and some I wasn't even aware that I had until I actually confided in her and I expressed what I went through, not only in primary school, but also in high school, in tertiary, and within the workplace, in romantic relationships, in friendships. And I realized how jealousy is actually a disease. And not only does it feed off the human mind, but it's killing us as a race, as a community, as a people. And I feel like this is something that needs to be touched on. Okay, so for example, when I started this YouTube channel, well, it's quite old, but technically I'm reviving it now, and I'm gonna focus and I'm gonna be consistent because I feel like this is very necessary. I'm all about keeping it real. I don't just want us to talk about makeup tutorials or things that are on the surface. I want us to talk about things that matter. I want us to just dabble into anything and everything because we're all out here trying to figure out this life thing. So it's important for us to share ideas, to share knowledge, to share experiences and encounters, and to just help each other, navigate through this life thing, because it's not simple. It really isn't black and white. It has gray areas which we weren't exactly taught about, or we weren't made aware of growing up. But now that we're actually grown and we're cognizant of the fact that we are spiritual beings existing in physical form, we encounter different people from all walks of life, and they have an influence on us, on our behaviors, on our thought processes, and so it's important for us to talk about such things. So as I was saying, I was giving you an example. Since I've revived my YouTube channel, I actually spoke to my very close neighbor, and we were just having our normal conversation. He was asking me, how you doing? I'm like, I'm very excited. I recently revived my YouTube channel. I'm stoked because I've been meaning to do this. But like I said in my previous video, I was held back by fear, and I kept making excuses, and I actually started to believe that my excuses were valid, but they really aren't. Because if you want to do something, if you're passionate about something, you just have to put in the work and make it happen. So I told him this, and I was like, I just revived my YouTube channel, and it would be amazing if you subscribed and you shared your views and you know. And his response was, wait, now you're also doing this thing. A lot of people start this thing and they never cope, or they don't last. So he was basically referring to the longevity being non-existent, and how people feel the need to start YouTube channels to gain popularity or to gain recognition, whatever it is. You know, he was just really negative in his response, and that actually hit a nerve. Like, it struck a nerve. I was like, dude, seriously? You just asked me how I'm doing, and I told you how I felt, and I told you that you contributing or adding some sort of value to this thing that means so much to me would actually elevate my mood and, you know, my happiness, and I thought, you know, I thought you were my G. So what's popping? What's going on? Why are you being so negative in your response? So my response to that, because these were my thoughts when he said that, my response to that was, you're such a typical black person. I kid you not. This was my response. And after typing that, I was like, sheesh, this is actually quite deep, because this is something that I actually did expect, but I was hoping he wouldn't do it. Hence, I was free enough, I was open enough to tell him, because he's a guy, and usually when you have a solid relationship or friendship with a guy, they're quite supportive. Even if you don't have any kind of relationship with that guy, they're usually quite supportive towards the opposite sex. But I've noticed that us as females tend to fight over I don't know what. And that's another topic for another day. But I mean, he's my friend. I'd like to think he's my neighbor. He's someone that I chill with on a daily, someone I share my experiences, my thoughts with, and I help out when it comes to certain things. So I wasn't expecting him to shoot me down like that and to burst my bubble like that. Instead, I was hoping, because he's someone who cares about me from what I understood and someone who's vouching for me, I was hoping that he'd actually root for me and motivate me. But that's not what he did. He shot me down, he burst my bubble, and he acted like a typical black person who just says, ugh, you're also doing this, it's gonna fail just like everybody else's fails, and oh, let's see how far you go when it comes to such things. Or you know what I mean, like typical behavior that I've experienced, not only when it comes to my friends but also in the workplace and in so many different instances. And I was not expecting that to happen. I expected it from a girl. I wanted to share my YouTube link on my different social platforms, but I became nervous because I know that this is usually the response. And guess who my followers are? Mostly black, like 96% black people. So it hit me to the core, and I felt like we needed to discuss this because it's a serious issue. It's a serious disease, guys. Jealousy ain't it. Like, it ain't it. Honestly, and it be your own people. Like, it be your own people. What's going on? We already have so many people hating us on us, so many people trying to kill us, so many people fighting for us to not make it through this life thing. And then we do this to one another instead of protecting each other and uplifting each other and hoping that we all win, you know? Because if one black folk wins, then we're all winning. I'm a representation of everybody that looks like me, everybody that has the same struggles as me. So why am I being dragged down? Why am I constantly being made to feel less than, you know, like I'm gonna fail? I'm basically being conditioned to expect failure. Like how, Sway? Please tell me how, Sway. You ain't got the answers, Sway. You ain't got the answers, Sway. Like, I'm literally choking on my own spit because I'm so passionate about this topic, and I wanted to talk about it just before I go to bed, because if I sleep, then I will not have as much fire, as much oomph as I do right now. But it's something that needs to be discussed. You need to do some self-introspection as black folk, and you need to address the demons that we have that constantly contribute to us pulling each other down and hurting each other and not believing in each other and conditioning each other for failure instead of success. You know, I'll give you another example. I confided in my mother, and I told her that in high school I was actually bullied. Contrary to popular belief, people thinking I had it easy, I passed my matric with flying colors, 4 distinctions. I looked happy, I looked vibrant. I'm always vibrant, no matter what I'm going through. Hence, a lot of people think I'm always, you know, on a high, even when I'm not. So whenever I do share that, I sometimes go through struggles, emotional struggles at that, and I feel like I'm dying inside and I'm suffocating. People don't believe it because I'm constantly like this, and I really can't fake it. It's just my nature, it's my personality, and it is what it is. It's amazing because it also uplifts my spirit, because I can't be all Debbie Downer. I can't. Even when I do try, I can't. I end up boring myself. So I can imagine what the next person is feeling. And I'm quite a people pleaser. So I want to make sure the next person is happy. Whenever they're around me, I want them to get undivided attention. I want them to have the time of their lives. So I can't be a Debbie Downer. It's not who I am, you know? So I was just wondering, what makes us rejoice when we see other people being Debbie Downers? Okay, anyway, so we were speaking about how I was bullied in high school. I remember there was a bunch of girls who approached me and they wanted to fight me over a boy that I was currently dating. I found this to be so whack. Like, so pathetic, so boring. And I was like, are you guys serious? We always look at other females fighting each other over some guy who's playing the both of them instead of confronting the guy. Why are we fighting each other? What is this? I'm going to elaborate a lot more when we talk about this woman against woman hatred and violence, and I don't know what this is, but we're going to talk about that because that's a whole nother story. Like, it's a whole other story, and I don't want to make this video super long, but this is an experience that I shared with my mom, and I was like, they wanted to attack me. They literally wanted to give me a beat down. Mind you, there's one of me, 15 girls coming to attack me over a boy. I'm a prefect. I'm an RCL president. I'm this, I'm that, I have academic colors. You know what I mean? And I'm standing at my duty point. So you're coming to my workplace to disrupt my peace over a boy who's disrespecting the both of us. And then you bring your troop of friends to come and confront me and beat me down if you think that's going to happen, which didn't happen because I serve a living God and you're not about to just do me like that. No. Anyway, so they came and they were like, so we heard you dating so and so. And I was like, uh-huh. And they're like, well, I'm his girlfriend, or this is his girlfriend. And I was like, oh, I had no idea he was cheating on me. Clearly he's cheating on you too, because I'm also his girlfriend, but you can have him. And how do you respond to that? So they had absolutely no idea how to respond to that. And so they just started hooping and hollering and doing all this hooligan shit that they just came to do. And I literally giggled. I was like, "Aibo." And the one girl who was actually dating my boyfriend was like, "Kuhleka," and I was like, "Ngihleka wena ukuthi upathetic ulwela indoda engabe ulwa nendoda." You're actually fighting over a guy instead of fighting with that guy for making you a fool. You know? And it was a thing, guys. And I remember how everybody was rejoicing at my downfall. Everybody was so excited by the scandal that Zanentle is going through, that perfect Zanentle has a boyfriend who's cheating on her, and he's cheating on her with a child who's in grade 11, and she's in matric, and she's got so many things going for her. People were rejoicing. I kid you not. Like, it was so amazing. People who I thought were my friends, people who I thought were my classmates, people who I thought had my best interests at heart, like, were rooting for that whole crew to actually beat me up, to bully me throughout the year at school. And I just realized that, sheesh, it's tough out here. And like, it's so important for us to pray for guidance, for discernment, so that we know who's who in the zoo, like, for real, so that we know if our friends are genuinely our friends or if the relationship is one-sided and they're secretly praying for your downfall. One of my best friends actually was friends with that entire crew, and I remember how she used to sit with them and mingle with them and giggle with them, and I wondered, what is this human being who's so close to me talking to these people about? Because clearly these people don't like me. These people want to hurt me. How do you associate with someone who wants to hurt your best friend? I don't know whether it's a Leo thing, but loyalty is everything to me. It's everything to me. There's no way in hell I would associate myself with someone who wants to hurt my loved one. I can't. I don't care whether you've never done anything to me, but you don't mess with people that I care for and expect me to be all smiles and expect me to rub shoulders with you and kiki, and no, it doesn't work that way. So I just realized that, sure, it's rough out here, guys, and it's so important for us to be careful and to ask for discernment and to watch our backs, but most importantly, to pray for others as well, because people are dying from this disease called jealousy. I feel like I'm going to make this part one, actually. I'm going to make this part one of our discussion because I only want to make this video 15 minutes, okay? I'm going to make it part one, and I'm going to continue at a later stage because I have so many other encounters that I'd like to share with you, and I'd like you to comment on your encounters that made you realize that, sheesh, it's rough out here and people aren't what you think they are. And one thing that I've gathered throughout my 25 years of existence is that the devil truly does reside in other human beings. And on that note, good night, guys. Love and light.